Boy, that I'm trying to fuck you, baby. Hopefully we don't have no babies. I don't even wanna go back home. Hopefully I don't leave you on your own. Boy, that I'm trying to fuck you, baby. Hopefully we don't have no babies. I don't even wanna go back home. Hopefully I don't leave you on your own. Boy, that I'm trying to fuck you, baby. Hopefully we don't have no babies. I don't even wanna go back home. Hopefully I don't leave you.
What is good? This is the guy who just loves disappearing for whatever reason. But this is Afro Artisan, of course, coming to you from literally in my closet, because I never do these kind of videos and I always wanted to show my progress, because there's a lot that goes into the work that I do. And now that I'm working digitally, it's a lot easier for me to record my process, as well as it just makes my whole process like easier, but at the same time there's a lot more that goes into it. As a person who loves details, I can't help but zoom in as close as I can and really get those real intricate spots that no one sees. But I see it, so that's really all that matters. So I've been meaning to do a video like this for a minute, and I'm in the closet because it's the best place to record my voice, and I'm using my one working AirPod. This whole thing is a struggle, low key. Like, I am hunched over a box, cuddling my basketball underneath a lot of clothes that are not mine, even though they're in my closet. That's a long story, but long story short, my mom has a lot of closet space and my dad gets 0% of it. So he uses my closet, which means I have no closet space, even though the closet is next to my bed. And it's been like that for a very long time. So this is pretty much the most use that I get out of this closet. And I'm just gonna use it as a sound booth for this video. And hopefully more to come, because I want to do more stuff like this. Because this piece right here started off as a visual to a poem that I wrote called Blanket, that I might share with you guys eventually, just because it's kind of in its early stages. It's pretty short right now, and it was created out of a prompt that I got from Instagram. Like, I asked people on Instagram to give me a word. I'll turn that word into a poem, and the only word that I was able to work with was blanket. So I wrote the poem, and I was going to do this visual to go with it. But then, of course, this process just happened to be a lot longer than I expected, because I got a lot more intricate with it. Now you can see the sun in the left corner of the screen rising, and that's going to change a bunch of times, just because originally the poem and the visuals were supposed to be highlighting the fact that I'm hiding in my blanket from the rising sun, because I've been staying up very, very late. Like, I've always been a night owl, but this quarantine has me feeding into my bad habits a lot more. So whereas I would usually fall asleep at like 2, 3, sometimes 4 or 5 a.m. the latest, now it's been like 5 a.m. the earliest, and then it became 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up until I was staying up well into the afternoon. And now my sleeping schedule has reset, so now I'm back to quote unquote healthy sleeping, just based on the fact that I was staying up later and later every day. So this was meant to portray me in like the early mornings. But after a while, I realized that the way the sun was coming in would have completely changed the piece and bring it in a direction that I didn't really want to go. So I ended up just scrapping the sun idea, changing it to the moon, and then the poem itself is a little less lighthearted than I wanted to go with this piece. So I decided to kind of go in a different direction and then just portray myself in my exact state. Like, this is pretty much how I've been the entire quarantine, like down to the last detail. Literally the only thing that isn't accurate is these boxers. Because I don't have heart-shaped boxers yet, even though they're on my business cards. And there's a couple instances of me in my art. I always love those heart boxers from like cartoons and shit. So I just added it. I always add it, but I have to find a pair for myself. Spoilers, because you don't see that they're heart boxers for a minute. So, I apologize. But I really had to get detailed and try to portray myself accurately. Because we're all having a tough time, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you subscribe to the fact that whether you subscribe to the belief that this is good for the world, it's like a cultural reset or whatever, whether you're enjoying yourself or not, we're all kind of having a tough time readjusting. Even me as an introvert, like I spend a lot of time at home anyway. So at first I thought like, oh, this isn't gonna be too bad. It's pretty much just the same, but it's different once you don't have the option. Every now and then I used to escape, and at the very least I would go to work. Go to work like 5 days a week, and that would be like my escape. But now that escape doesn't exist. The most I can do now is like ride my bike or go to one of the few stores that are open. So it's been tough, but luckily for me, I have been creating as much as I can. Like I'm not creating at the level that I feel like I should be, because no one ever really reaches their own expectations when it comes to productivity and creativity. So I just keep, like, the more I create, the more I push myself to do more. And time is always a great excuse, but now everybody has nothing but time. So you can't really lie to yourself like, oh, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. You have nothing but time. You just don't want to do that. You don't want to do this, or at least you don't want to do this right now. And that right now never comes. Just like this video, this piece and this whole recording was recorded maybe a week, 2 weeks ago. And I'm just now doing the actual voiceover. And my excuse was, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I put music over it? Should I talk? Do people really want to hear my voice for the whole duration of this? And really, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter as much as I thought. Because it's not like there's not videos of me on my page that have me speaking for 15 minutes or more already. So sitting here in this hot ass closet and then just speaking about my art and what's going on should be a lot easier than the videos that I normally post, where I'm just completely off topic, like 45. Maybe 45 is a little generous. Maybe 50%, 60% of the time, I'm off topic. But I haven't been posting much, and this video was a perfect way to remedy that, because, like I said, I really want to get into posting more of the process, because I want people to know like the work that goes into each piece. Because like small details like my tattoos can take a while to really perfect in my mind, because I can be a perfectionist when it comes to my work in every little detail. And anybody who knows me or knows my art knows how much I love details and small details specifically. So I put a lot of time and effort and thought into every small thing. So when I just post a random piece on my page, I want people to know, like, I spent days on this. It may be something small to you, but to me it took me like multiple hours of me sitting at a desk and like waiting until I was done drawing to eat, and waiting until I was done drawing to like leave my room and let my parents know like, hey, yeah, I'm still alive. So I just wanted to show the work that goes into everything I put up. Like this piece is small compared to what I've worked on in the past, like traditional work and in terms of just literal size, but there's a lot of intricate details that went into this. Like this whole scene right here that you're seeing is based on my actual room. Like when I got my room redone, I got a new bed frame, I got new drapes and all that. I'm using my actual room for reference, and of course if I'm recreating who I am or how I am during this quarantine, I'm going to use my real room. But it's like there's just certain things, there's just certain aspects of my room that I wanted to incorporate as well as switch around, because I love taking creative liberty in everything, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I don't do many commissions, is because I like to have full control over what I draw. Because a lot of times, like this piece for example, I start off with an idea in mind, and then halfway through the piece I get a completely different idea, or I take it into a completely different direction. Like I can't count the amount of times I've started drawing something, and then if you compare the reference that I used to the final piece, you will not see anything similar other than the actual like pose of the character. Like I'll go on Instagram, I'll go on Pinterest, whatever, and I'll find a picture that I like and I use it as a reference, and the only thing that'll actually end up in the final product would be the pose. Like, oh, this person's holding their arm up a certain way, or their back is kind of curved, and that'll literally be the only form of reference that you'll see. Having full creative liberty over my pieces is very important to me, just because I get distracted very easily, as I'm sure you can tell by any video on my page. So I'll start a piece one way and then completely bring it in a new direction, and I need to have that. I need to have the freedom to do that, or else even one small detail that I'll add, and it'll give me an idea for the rest of the piece. And if I feel like I'm boxed in and I can't act on that piece, then my whole motivation to complete it is now changed, because in my mind I'm looking at it as like I'm looking at it in my mind as this final product. And usually when you create something, it doesn't come out exactly how you picture it, but it's still within the same realm. Like you still see, okay, this is where like I was physically limited in a way that I couldn't bring my idea to life the exact way that I want it. So having to overanalyze every detail that I do and accept that it's never going to look exactly the way I envisioned it is like, it's easy because I've done it for so long. It's like, this is as close as I'm going to get, pretty much. So having an idea for something and then not being able to act on that just based on the fact that I don't know, like let's say someone asked me to do this a specific way, it definitely hinders my creative process, because now I'm no longer creating my idea of what everything should be and what should look like. Now I am creating from someone else's mind, and that's not really what my work is. So that's really why I try to work on concepts rather than portraits, because I don't want to draw a picture like you send me an exact picture that you want drawn, and if I'm struggling with a pose, I'm struggling with a background or whatever you're wearing or something, then I'm gonna just naturally completely switch up everything. I'm gonna put you in a whole different scenery. You might be in a different outfit or something, just anything that makes my creative process either easier or just more aesthetically pleasing. But if I'm doing a portrait, then I can't really do that, because you gave me a specific picture to work with. So I really feel boxed in. No, I actually had a lot of fun recording this whole process, because I was able to focus a lot more than usual, because I would stop and just let myself be distracted whenever I draw, because I feel like it actually helps my creative process if I'm not just like staring at a screen trying to figure stuff out all at once. Like if I get caught up in a song or I just start texting or whatever. I just let it happen and just let everything flow the way it's meant to flow, because everything will come to me in time. And time heals all wounds. That applies to a lot more than just like emotional and physical damage. It also applies to just everyday life. Sometimes you have to take your time with certain things and just let everything flow naturally. So I had a lot of fun with this piece, and I'm very happy with how it came out in the end. I had a lot of fun with this lighting effect, and it let me be lazy because I didn't have to do all the shadow work. But that's enough of me ranting. I seem to have finished. And while I thought that this was going to be a long recording of me just talking to a screen, I ended up finishing way before I was done talking. So I'm not going to hold you guys up too much longer. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me rant as always, and enjoyed watching this. Now, if you really would just want to go back and watch the process, put me on mute. Go ahead. Enjoy it. Enjoy the visuals. Before this video gets too long, I just want to stop myself. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll be back. I promise. Peace.